What up, everybody? This is Mark from Suicide Silence.
And this is Brian Fair from Shadows Fall.
This is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here.
Yo, this is Gary Hall from Exodus and recently retired from Slayer. And
Hello, this is Becky Boulder from Hamburg Rebel and Fury.
Hey, this is Charlie with Anthrax. I just want to give a shout out to Pedal to the Metal Radio, the podcast.
The podcast to get all your rock and metal news plus reviews.
Keep it metal. Pedal to the Metal Radio, motherfuckers!
All right, what's up, everybody? It's your main man, Eddie Monster here. This is another edition of Eddie's Top 5. That's right. And this week, I am tackling one that, much like the Deftones, was so hard to do. Much like Judas Priest, so hard to pick. Because there's so many great albums that come from these bands that sometimes it's hard to pick your top 5. I mean, you're always going to have your number one, right? So it's going to be that album that is just like every single time you hear it, it just, it goes. And the funny thing about this, and this one in particular, is as I was getting ready to record this episode, I already mishmashed my list. So what was originally in my top 5 is now changed again, and I'm going to call it, this is final right here on Eddie's Top 5. And today we're doing Korn. That's right, one of the leaders of the nu metal scene. That's right, one of my favorite groups, and I'll get a story in when I cover that album. Because it's very important as to why I became such a huge Korn fan. But anyways, at number 5, we've got The Nothing. Okay. Now, granted, this is the only album of the post-David Silvera era that ended up on this playlist, or this list, I should say. And quite notably, because when it came out in 2019... it didn't have as huge of an impact on me until COVID hit, which was, I think, like 6 or 7 months after this album came out, to be perfectly honest. And this album was like the soundtrack of lockdown. It was everything and all the emotions you felt during that time period when you were told you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't go here, you can't go there, all that bullshit. And this was the soundtrack to that time. Probably one of my favorite post-David Silvera albums there is out there is The Nothing. Great tracks like Cold, You'll Never Find Me, Can You Hear Me? A lot of songs that definitely made an impact on me, during that time. So moving on, at number 4, remember, this is the change. This is the change up, right? Basically, everything got moved back when I changed up this thing. And coming in at number 4 is Life is Peachy. It is an iconic record. It's got A.D.I.D.A.S, Good God. It's got other great songs like No Place to Hide, Chi, Mr. Rogers. And then even the Ice Cube cover, Wicked, featuring Chino Moreno. And a very, very, very deep and colorful track in Kill You, which is the last track in the album. Very emotional, much like what Daddy was to the self-titled record, is Life is Peachy. These guys were slowly finding their place where they were, and I feel like this was still the raw era, the Ross Robinson era of Korn right here, and this is what it boiled up to be. And I have it at number 4. And, of course, coming in at number 3 is the self-titled debut album from Korn. Real quick about this record. This record meant a lot to me in a sense because one of my best friends who passed away, I'll never forget him coming into school. I think I was in 1994. I was 12. And we were in middle school, junior high, whatever the hell you want to call it, wherever you're from. And he came up and said, dude, you got to listen to this band. They're so different. And I was like, who the hell is Korn? And he's like, just listen to this record. And I remember listening to it from front to back and just being like, I have never heard anything like this in my life. I was interested. Immediately got me back into metal because at the time I was only listening really to hip hop and gangster rap at the time. So because I hated the grunge scene. That's just me. That's where I was in life at that point. And yeah, such a powerful album. Ball Tongue, Need To, Fake, Shoots and Ladders, obviously, Clown, and then Blind, of course, being that track. So yeah, this was definitely a powerful album for me. Coming in at number 2 is Korn with Untouchables. This was so hard, man, because this is one of my favorite Korn albums of all time. Front to back, a masterpiece, in my opinion. They spent a shit ton of money, I believe $4 million, to make this record. And first time I ever saw Korn live was the Untouchables tour. Awesome, just awesome. Had so much fun. This is such an amazing, amazing record. You're probably like, he's saying this is the best Korn record. Why is it number 2? And that will be answered, obviously, because at number 1 is Issues, and this is the album that really defined who Korn was gonna be, in my opinion. Everything had led up to this. This was Korn. This was Korn at their almighty, like, powerful, in your face, very dark. The theme that would move on, for the rest of their careers. Issues was that album. It's fantastic. I mean, Make Me Bad, Somebody Someone, Trash, Counting, Dirty, even those little like 1 minute, For You and all those things. Such an amazing record. So this, again, front to back, another masterpiece in its own right. So there you go. That's my list. A lot of the other albums, honorable mention. You can put it there. So that is my list, as you can see right there. And I just want to remind you guys to please, if you could, please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate every subscription we get. We try to bring you as much content as we possibly can. And, by the way, the new podcast episode is up. That's right. Please visit the podcast page and you can listen to the latest episode. We've changed things up. When it comes to the podcast, we only play unsigned bands. There you go. So if you're in an unsigned band, hit me up. But for right now, we'll see you next time.